special or not. And we have to have it. We have to have it every day in every pitch of every game. And Matt exemplified that tonight in everything that he did. And he got one hit, and that was a huge hit. But it's if we're so focused on the performance, we get what gets lost is how we get to a performance. And I'm smacking Matt on the butt. So I like the best game I've ever seen you play, and continue to come out and compete and do those things. It's just not about the performance; it's about the process to get there.
I know you can't change how you call the game, how the guys play the game, but obviously Nebraska playing Michigan, a huge series going on while you're playing Rutgers here in the Big Ten Championship on the line. How does that's got to play into your mind somehow after the game when you like Nebraska wins tonight?
Yeah, no, I'm certainly I check it after the game. I'm human. We're all human. You're going to think I'm taking a cop out, but I truly mean this, and I've done these after every game. Like, my goal is for our guys to be the most competitive, the hardest playing, the most focused team in the country every time that we play. And so that when you do have a game like tonight, right, where you are fighting for a regular season championship, you're not trying to turn the switch on and say, like, today we have to win, or today we have to. If we have to do something, we add so much pressure to ourselves. That's why I get frustrated and vocalize it probably more than I should sometimes to everybody. But that's why I get frustrated when we take a couple innings off or take a day off or we don't show up, because it's not just that day. It's not just the midweek game that you didn't play well in, or you didn't compete well in. It's the lasting effect of then trying to turn it back on is an impossible thing to do, especially in such a failure-based sport. It's not football where you're just bigger and stronger and you hand the ball off to your tailback out of the eye and he just runs it down people's throat. It's not like that. You're looking at Matt Gorski has one of his best games of his career and gets one hit. It's just a silly game. I don't know why any of us decided to be a part of it, but we did. And so you just can't turn it on and off in this game. And so you're right, 100%. I checked the score before I walked out here. But we do try so hard to get the guys to play how they should, so that when you get to the end of the season, again, coming from mid-major baseball, that helps me so much, because you're just so used to, you're so hardened to having to win in the last month, or you just go home. And so the ability to prepare a team to do those things, the mindset you have to have, it started 6 months ago, 9 months ago. It was every Tuesday game. It was every game in the first month. You're trying to build their mindset to be able to accomplish and achieve in the last month.
And regardless what happens in Lincoln, you guys have to bring it the next 2 days, regardless. Oh, absolutely. You're playing for the Big Ten tournament seeding. You're playing for the NCAA tournament. There's nothing guaranteed. The only thing that we are guaranteed is 4 more games, unless we get rained out. Right? You're guaranteed 4 more games. You have to go and you have to pour it out and all those things. And I really am, as frustrated as I get sometimes. I'm very proud of this team, how far we've come from being under 500 in the first month, overcoming some of the injuries, the growth of the young guys, some days where we kind of stub our toe and do some goofy things to respond back. I am very proud of what we've done, regardless of what happens this weekend, and I mean that.
It's the Ball State game that you won at like 18-4, but you really made a point that you cannot expect to score that many runs in a game, because those 4 runs were probably all unearned, I remember.
And the
Ball State had, it was a little bit of slop.
Yes. Yeah. You're exactly right. Like, we thumped some balls tonight, and they landed for hits and the home run. We also had some really hard outs, and to off topic, but a little bit to this point, I was frustrated with a couple of our opportunities to play. I was glad we've worked on trying to bunt a little bit more in situations, and you saw some guys try to do that a little bit more. But we had a guy on second base and nobody out, and we get a backdoor little loopy breaking ball in a 2-1 count, and we don't advance the runner. We take it. That can't happen. We had a game plan today to take his off-speed pitch until we got a strike, at least the first time through. We come up with a guy on first and second and nobody out. We swing at a first pitch, off-speed pitch, we get jam pop out to the first baseman. Those are the little things that disallow your inning from ballooning into a crooked number. And those are little things that when I get frustrated, that's what I'm talking about. It is so hard to walk up and get to a count and have the conditions, the wind's blowing a little bit, not in or out, whatever, and to square it up and hit. It's so hard to hit a home run. It's so hard to hit an extra base hit, especially when every team we play throws 60% off speed and puts 3 guys on the warning track every game. So when you have opportunities to advance the runner or to follow an approach, it's designed to put you in the optimal position to get a pitch that you can handle, or in the advance the runner situation to allow us to then do what Sam Krell did earlier in the game, which is work along a bat tap a ball to the second baseman, and we score a run. We have to be more multifaceted and multidimensional, and we're working every day to do those things. But to your point, exactly, like, you just can't expect to go out and score those runs on a Friday night, on a Tuesday night. It doesn't matter. It's just baseball's hard. Scoring runs is hard, but it's really hard when you give away 3 or 4 or 5 outs and give me situations. Just give me production. You have to be able to produce.
It looked like
Sounds like
Lloyd,
something just happened in there.
I think Nebraska just won.
Nebraska just won.
Yeah.
No, but we're not paying attention. We're not paying attention. No. What a cop out, man. What a cop out.
It looked like Matty Lloyd enjoyed that home run tonight too.
Yeah.
Because it was a meaningful home run.
Right. You're exactly right. And you watch Matt. Again, it's hard to be the dude. It's hard to be in the middle lineup and be the guy and have everybody count on you and get pitched the best. And he hasn't been great the last few days. You can tell when we go on the road, when we didn't get to practice as much, he'll get a little long, a little bit uphill. I hollered him in the middle of the bat. I'm like, what did I say? I said get downhill. I said get on time and get downhill. And we work so much together. He's like, okay. And you see the very next swing, he fouls straight back. He's getting downhill again, and I'm like, oh gosh, he looks like it, and then he does it, and then he stays downhill to it, and again he's fouled a bunch of balls straight back, and he just is able to clip that one. But he doesn't allow previous situations to phase him, and he's so coachable, and he's so open to learn, and he's so competitive. It's like I can fix it right now, and I have to fix it right now, and that's really nice when you can coach a guy, not only in the middle of a game, but in the middle of an at bat. Are you coachable when the bullets are flying? Are you coachable when you're in the trenches and it's an intense moment? And that's why he responds, right? It's always going to be cyclical. You're going to ebb in your flow, and you're going to struggle a little bit, and then can you get back to it, and can you just not ride the waves every day, and can you be able to making adjustments in the moment? Are you that emotionally mature? And I want to say this too. How about Cole Barr and Elijah Dunham's growth? How about those guys, their maturity? Cole Barr walks twice tonight, has long at bats, works from 2 strikes back to a walk. Eli Dunham, 4 hits. And what I was most impressed with, we have the Louisville game with the guy on first base, and he gets a 2-0 fastball, and he peels off and hits a ball down the line foul and pulls off of it. And he's just excited, and he wants to hit a home run. He wants to win the game. Instead of doing what he did tonight in that 3-1 count when he doubles off the right center field wall, and he just lets the barrel cross his face and stays through it. And that's growth, that's maturity. Cole Barr, we're working so much on seeing spin better for him and being, better the big part of the field. And you look at what he did tonight. And that's the incremental growth that we covet and that we cherish and that we were the foundation of the program. But those guys were really good tonight too.
Justin Walker's a guy that's been swinging it better recently. His average up. He's making more hard contact.
Yeah.
Well, what's changed for him recently? He had that 2 RBI double tonight.
Justin's a great kid. Justin's a great kid, and he's incredibly talented, as everyone sees. But Justin has made a real commitment to being a baseball player, right? And I mean that in a positive way. We all have that moment in our life when it's like, I need to be more concerned about being a great player than looking like a great player. And that's what, and I mean that as a compliment, not in any way condescending at all, because we've all been through that. Like I was a freshman in college. I started my freshman year in college, and I hit the middle of the lineup. My sophomore year, I thought I was like the greatest thing that ever happened. And our second baseman busted my chops in the middle of a game, and I stopped doing that. And so we all go through that. And so I'm really proud of Justin. But Justin's getting on time. He's created an identity for himself where he's going to hit the ball head high. He's going to be on time. He's going to hit the ball head high to the middle of the field, and he's going to bunt. He's going to advance runners, which he didn't do tonight, but he will. He's done a good job of that. And he's committed to competing and really to his identity. And I want to say this, that's hard sometimes in this lineup. It's hard to have your own identity, which is not driving the ball to the ballpark, because there are so many guys that can do that. Dunham and Lloyd and Gorski and Richardson sometimes when he's right, and Barr. And so you all of a sudden it's like it kind of is contagious. It's like, I like that. I like chest bumping and tapping helmets, but that's not his game. That's not Drew Ashley's game. And so I've been really happy with Justin. Justin's changed our season defensively, and he's really changed our season the last couple of weeks offensively, as he's really committed to an identity and done a good job with it. And the great thing for him is he's just scratching the surface. I told him that tonight. I busted his chops pretty hard tonight after one of his at-bats. and it's because his talent and when he's focused, his game is so high. I don't think he knows how high it is. What he can do, he can be transcendent for us, and how he can impact this team is incredible. And I don't even know that he knows it yet. And he's been a great player for us last few weeks. So he's got more to go. He's just scratching the surface. He's going to be a really good ball player. I'm proud of him.
Got you on the board tonight.
That's right. Big one. Thanks for staying, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.